So I picked that song because it makes me think of Taylor. Taylor loves musical theater. I grew up in musical theater. I mean, the energy of it, right? Being in an audience in the same place with that flow of energy that we all have. It should be exciting. And we're here really because something was missing, right? Wherever we were, wherever you were doing before you walked in these doors, something was missing. Your connection to the community you were in. Maybe it was what you were hearing about God. It didn't quite get it. When I walked in these doors and I heard Taylor Stevens, and I don't even know why I went here this morning. I think it was close to my house, right? I was obviously not satisfied where I was. I was obviously longing. But when I walked in the door and heard him, I was blown away. Isn't he like that? The singing, I think she was singing, and I was like, oh my gosh, I never heard in a church singing like that, right? And then Taylor came up, as Taylor is, and I'm like, this guy's amazing. And what's even more amazing is, I've heard a lot of ministers, and I was a Baptist minister. I was evangelical. I was a Catholic for many years. I have been to so many kind of services. But when someone can really touch you, when someone can get down and touch you, and the God within me touches the God in you, and we speak truth. Because when you speak truth and you hear truth, there's a connection. There has to be. And truth transforms you. It doesn't just lay out there. It has to hit somebody. There has to be some power in truth, because otherwise, what are we doing here? Right? We could have stayed home, right? I could be home ordering on Amazon, right? Everybody's doing it right now, right? Drinking coffee. I could be having a breakfast place. Could be doing 100 other things. But you came here looking for something, just like I did. And I found it here. So I want to thank Taylor because, sorry, I'm just going to get... My daughter is here. God, I miss my kids so much. But Taylor made this day possible for me to fulfill my dream. To preach, I've been called to preach many, many years ago, and I was a Baptist minister. They wanted me to be a Catholic priest. Many times in my life, people say, oh, it's in you, preach. Sometimes it was financial. Sometimes I didn't really believe in the message. It really wasn't, they would only talk about diversity back then, right? So the idea that we're talking about God and you're including some people and excluding other people never really made sense to me. So how could I get with that? How can I believe in something like that? How could you say one thing in the gospel and then act another way towards people? So when I walked in the unity, I believe this unity message will change the world. I believe if everybody could get that, if we could touch the God within us and touch the God in other people and connect on a positive, with the energy that you can use for love to transform the world, I think that's the only way to do it. And this is the message to do it. This movement. Anyway, so my wife and my daughter are here, and you are my church family. I have some people here, Marie, Barbara, and Sarah in the back, and people I've grown to love, being here the time I'm here. And so my joy is complete. So after that long, long introduction, I'll get into it. So my sermon today is, it's not going to be long. My sermon today is, may I present to you. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you ... You fill in the blanks. So in the old days, before there was even television, before there was radio, before there was even recording, there was a guy in front called the Master of Ceremonies. He's still kind of around, but back then he had a lot of power because he could move the acts around. If it was slow, he'd put somebody funny or whatever, and he would build the excitement for the audience. Wait till you hear. He's coming to the stage. We haven't had it before. They're incomparable. They really get the audience going. And then so when you go in, the energy is right for the people. He says, ladies and gentlemen, may I present David. You're present. He's present. Wherever you are in your head, what problems you have, what issues you have, you're present. That's the key. So when people get married, we still do the traditional marriage ceremonies. At the end of the ceremony, the minister stands up and says, may I present to you, right? The new Mr. and Mrs. Jones, Mr. Jones, whatever it is, whoever's sitting there, he's presenting this new unit, this new creation to people here. Now these two people.
So sorry, there is a blue Prius or a white Nissan, and it's blocking. Nobody can get out. I'm so.
Oh no, of course.
Yeah.
Anybody have a blue Prius? Gosh, we hope there's not an emergency. Okay, good. That's okay. I'll wait till you come back. It's all good. Anyway, so what he's doing is he's presenting. He is telling the people. He's making a pronouncement that this new creation, these new two people coming together to create this bond, is going to be part of our community. It's going to help in our finances. It's going to make children, or even not, help us raise our children in the sense. But the important thing is that they're creating something new and something powerful. And they're creating that bond and that covenant which we need to do anything. But he always says, may I present to you? Same thing, same words. Interesting, right? That you present to you. So this sermon is about creating a new creation, me creating a new creation, you creating a new creation in yourself. It's 5 steps. Just like the unity principles, right? God is, I am, I think, I pray, I live. Anybody heard of those? So the other side is let it go, embrace tomorrow, gratitude grounds you, faith is your power, new creation. So I always, when I preach, I always tell you something about myself because a lot of people don't know me, and people that do know me, maybe they don't know a lot about me. I grew up in a very Catholic background where you didn't talk. So anything goes in the house, nobody talks, right? Murders happen and nobody talks, right? Kids go to school and they see horrific things, and that's just how we live. So I was, the family I was in, my sisters were very abusive to me. And so I would humiliate me in public and slap me in the head and call me stupid. And I used to cry and I'm a sissy and just these, because they said later she was jealous of me. Well, I didn't know. I was a little kid being tortured for many, many years till she left. And she installed that tape in my head. All those things she said to me was in my head. So when I grew up, I went to high school, I was good at sports. Still, all I could hear was that tape, right? Then I went to college. I got into college on a scholarship. It didn't matter. I could still hear that tape. That tape was installed, right? Sometimes we go through some trauma and we hold on to it, right? It becomes who we are. When you don't have anything else, it's almost like that trauma is, I can't let it go. Who am I without that trauma, right? Do you ever hear about a monkey cage, a monkey trap? They're African hunters, and they make this thing called a monkey trap. So it's a box with a little hole in it that the monkey could just put its hand in. And inside the box is a banana. So monkeys are smart. I mean, they're really hard to catch. The community, they think they can hear. It's hard to catch them. But this genius came up with this thing. They go in and grab the banana, and they won't let go. And they hold on to that banana. And they can stay there until they starve. The hunter just comes in and collects the monkeys. Puts it out for the sake. He doesn't taste anything. The monkeys imprison themselves because he won't let go. All of these things that we've been through, my past made me deal with people and relationships based on the tape that I had in my head. Because everything is consciousness, right? I personally say 90% of stuff is consciousness and 10% is just reality that we got to deal with because we're here, right? There's some stuff to me that's just here, right? Like taxes are just here. Cancer is just here. I mean, the physical seats we sit in are just here. This is all part of our spiritual evolution to go to the next place. We have to endure this and figure this out and rise above it and deal with each other and help each other. And then we go to the next level of our journey. So I saw the world through that perspective of all those bad things she said about me, all the humiliation, all the way she pushed me down. I became small inside. And even though I was tall, and even though I was talented, even though I mean, beautiful women, look at my wife. I would have lovely, talented, smart people that loved me, but I couldn't get it. I couldn't reciprocate that love. Because I didn't feel worth it, right? I didn't feel worth it. So my life was a cycle of doing bad things to myself to justify how bad I think about myself, and on, and years, burning years up. I mean, I can't tell you how many opportunities I've had. Things just handed to me, and I felt like I couldn't hold on to them because I didn't feel them. I have my trauma. I can't hold that. I have my trauma to hold on to, right? At the point where I had to forgive myself, because that's the biggest thing. And all the things you held on to and all the things you feel bad about, 90% of that is even yourself. Because sometimes you think, especially when you're a kid, you think this is supposed to happen to you, or you're there for a reason. That whole idea that people traumatize you and do mean things to you or say mean things to you, and somehow that's what you deserve. And a lot of us have been raised that way. If you can get the idea first, go back to all of them and forgive yourself. I have these memories that come up to me sometimes as I'm working and go through my day. And since I joined Unity, I got the idea, I really just give that stuff up. I do like Emmett Fox said, I golden key it. Or I just put it away and let God handle it. And I think of God and it goes away. And they come up. But you know what? I get a little better at it all the time. I get a little better at reprogramming my brain, because that's what we do have here. We have the choice to reprogram our minds so that we heal ourselves, because that's how we're designed from the manufacturer, to heal ourselves. And it's crazy how simple it is, right? Like all this garbage I've been having, like me, I'm like Santa Claus with this big bag of all this disgusting things and acts and memories, and I'm just dragging them through my life. And all I just had to do was let go. And even people told me I didn't believe it. And I had to be I'm an old guy. I'm an old guy to be here my whole life to realize that was something I could have done 40 years ago and saved myself a whole lot of grief. I mean, it's so invasive. I bet you could think of something right now that happened to you before you were 5 or around 5, still, of something you still can bring up the memory, and it still has emotional charge. It's charged emotionally. That's what I'm talking about. At some point, you ever hear the Dionne Warwick song? She says, "You never get to heaven if you break my heart." You know that song she sings? Well, that's true, because you'll never get to heaven if you can't forgive the person who broke your heart. If you can't forgive yourself, you'll never get to heaven, because that's what heaven is. Heaven isn't in the past and our baggage. Heaven is no doors you want to close shut. Don't close the door. Just walk in. I know it's hard, but just walk in. Sorry, one of these mornings. But you are not your trauma. You are not your mistakes. You are not the things people said about you. You're not your even worst thoughts about yourself. You're a beautiful child of God. You're made in the image of God. You're beautiful. If you can accept that, maybe you could let go of some of that stuff. Maybe it took a long time to unpack it. I have a lot of stuff in that bag. So it might take me a long time to just unpack all that stuff I've got, because it took me a long time to fill it up. But every day it gets easier. Just like when you first start working out or going to the gym or walking or doing anything good. It's hard at first, but if you just discipline your mind and say, I'm going to let go of this because it does not serve me. And say those words and claim them. I'm going to let that go because it does not serve me. And go, and it'll come to you, and your days will get easier and easier and easier. So that's the first step, right? Getting pretty close to the center, but we're not quite there yet. There's one more thing that's a big deal. The boogeyman. Right? Tomorrow. Fear. The anxiety. There's the door of tomorrow. Oh my gosh, I know what's behind that door, right? Tragedy, right? I'm going to be broke tomorrow. She's not going to love me tomorrow. I'm not going to have a job tomorrow, right? I'm not going to be able to, walk. Whatever it is, in my mind has so much been built up in fear of what hasn't happened. That how can you be in today? How can you enjoy and appreciate this moment if tomorrow has you scared you know what? Because isn't that what it is? Isn't that what fear is? Really? And anxiety? It's really something that hasn't happened yet. Because if it's happening, then you're just thinking about how do I get out of this mess, right? You're thinking about your brain's working on get out, and that's okay because that's present. But if you're thinking about what's gonna happen, it seems ridiculous, but we all do it, right? I know I do it all the time. That monster under the bed, right? That hidden thing, that thing. I had a job and it was a great pay. And every Friday morning, I say to myself, they're going to fire me. Every Friday morning, I would say, this is my last check. Ridiculous, right? And I ran the whole job. I think it was like 12 guys there. But me in my mind, oh, today's the day. Secretly, I had that in my head. I had that tape in my head of this boogeyman that was going to change, that was going to ruin my life the next day. So what's the key? I'm 62 years old. I've been through wars, right? There've been wars in this country. I'm still here, right? Hurricanes, right? There've been earthquakes, right? There've been. I used to live in New York City, so I had physical threats against me. I'm still here. You're still here, right? All the illnesses in your life, you're still here. You know, there must be something about this trust thing. There must be something about this floating thing that's I put in the meditation. It just, the universe loves you. God loves you. He loves you so much the hairs on your head are counted. Can you imagine? I wouldn't count the head on her head. I wouldn't count the hairs. I mean, just saying, I love her. But I'm saying that kind of love that kind of love, that intimate kind of love of the universe, that is so, it's real. That's why we're here. We made it this far. So what is there to fear tomorrow? What is there tomorrow that is worse than anything could have happened to you before? Right? Stop listening to the things on television that are making you afraid. If it's making you, just turn it off. It's still going to be there, right? Think some love. Think some scripture. Think some good, whatever you like, whatever your space is. Spend more time doing that because I am that guy. I just got to turn it off. Every day when I got home, I said, turn that thing on, and the world's going to fall, and I'm Chicken Little, and this is going to happen, the economy, and this, and the reds, and the blues, and blah, 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 and all this stuff in my head. And I'm not in the moment anymore. I could have had a great day. Now I'm in a bad day because of what I created, the perception of this world that I created that is not real. Because it is just perception, isn't it? Isn't it just what you see? I'll give you an example. Okay, so when you were in high school, can you remember the first boy you fell in love with? He was perfect, right? Keith Partridge hair, right? Blue eyes like the sea, right? His teeth were perfect. He spoke, like when he spoke was genius, right? He was like the guy, great body. He was popular. And then the first time he lied to you, right? Not you personally, I'm just saying generally. First time he lies to you, then the second time he might lie to you. And the third time maybe he, I don't know, tried to get with your best friend. Or maybe he just had a couple of girlfriends. Whatever it was, that same beautiful guy is now, the sound of his voice irritates you. The sound of his hair is not that nice, right? His body is okay. I mean, you look at the same human being, but completely different because of your perception, because of your knowledge. And we could do that with anything. Anything in your life, you can do that. So, okay, we took care of the past. Now we took care of the future. Because we need to be right here. Right where you are right now. Right now, you're hearing my voice is where you need to be. If you want to find and get to the next place in your spiritual evolution, we must be here. It's the hardest thing to do, but if you do it, it is worth it. My life was transformed because of the unity, because of this movement. But you're not there yet. It's three more things. The next thing, which is fantastic, because gratitude was today's message. I didn't even know. When I wrote the sermon, I didn't know today's was gratitude. Everyone understand how electricity works, right? There's a hot line, which is the black line where electricity flows, and then there's a white line, and it actually flows to make the circuit, but the white line is it's connected to Earth. Did you know that? It's called the ground. And so there's no electricity. Electricity doesn't flow through the wire. It actually flows from where the source is, goes through whatever the conduit is and goes into the ground. You don't have a circuit unless you're connected to the ground. There are no lights unless they're connected to the earth, where we're all supposed to be. Gratitude connects us, grounds us, because if you can't appreciate what you have, what are we doing? If you can't appreciate being here right now. So an example, a personal, that gratitude is perception. So I'm in construction. I've been in construction. I was in sports. This body is pretty well worn. So I can get up in the morning, I got aches and pains and creaks, and I'm getting up. I can hear parts of my bones working, right? And I'm just kind of starting my day, and it's like, but before I get to my car, I get a phone call. And this really happened, actually. My sister was dying of AIDS. My innocent sister, I was a wild one. My beautiful sister was dying of AIDS. Suddenly, I didn't feel one bone in my body. I didn't feel one problem I had. Right? I didn't feel anything except I was in that moment thinking about her. And in that second, when something tragic, you feel it or hear it or see it, there's a wave of gratitude. Not that I'm happy it was her, but not me, but some wave to say, I have this fantastic life. In comparison to so many or so many things. My body works pretty good. It might be creaky, but gosh, it works pretty good. I am pretty happy that the way it works. So all the moaning and all the things I felt a little about what I didn't have, and it went away. And I was so happy for life. And that was that's one of the messages she always gave to me. You know, she said, you're always thinking about what you want or what's wrong. You never actually appreciate what you have. She said it to me. I mean, we said it in our own language, which is probably not worth repeating in church. But the idea was just saying that, Michael, this that you've been given, this body you've been given, this home you've been given. I've been to the parking lot. There's a lot of nice cars out there, right? I think people live in nice neighborhoods when you hear about their zip code. So there's so much good here, so much prosperity, so much joy, so much hope, so much health. Look at you. You can see your shiny faces. It's so much right here that we have to be grateful for. But if we are not, gratitude is in the present, right? Gratitude is right this second. You can take it. I could go on for hours and talk about what kind of things I should feel grateful for because there are so many. But that grounds you. So now I'm grounded. Now the power can flow through me. The fourth step is we need the power, and the power is faith. Because if you don't believe it, there's no point in sitting here, right? If you don't believe God is inside of you, if you don't believe your life can be transformed, what are we doing here, right? I wouldn't be here. I have other things to do. I have friends that are sitting in front of a TV watching the game, drinking beer. I mean, to me, I would feel like it was death to me if that's all I had to look forward to on a Sunday, because I look forward to this. This is my family. You're my family. So I look forward to coming here because the energy I share changes my life and changes my week. And not only that, it changes the world. Did you know that? Did you know us praying here, holding hands, and running the vibration and thinking God in love actually changes the world? The entire vibration of the planet? Did you know that? I was blown away when they told me. But when they told me, it was like it was a light bulb. But it's just the faith in that being true, right? Me standing here, me with my background education and what I've done in my life, I should not be standing here trying to tell somebody about God. I'm not that guy. But when I got called, I had the faith to believe this is really what I'm born to do. And I need to get myself out of the way and forgive myself. And I need to do what I'm called. And the idea is that every single person gets called. You get messages from God in you. The reason you're here, because Rumi said, what you seek seeks you. So you're here because something inside you that longs for God, that connection. Something inside you is longing for community. That's why we're here. That's why we pray. That's what the whole point of this thing is. But you have to believe it, otherwise it doesn't work. Right? Dorothy clicks her heel, nothing happens. She's sitting. Everything you think and you've heard, nothing happened. They say money is God in action, right? You've heard that before? Eric Butterworth. He says money is God in action. Well, on a dollar bill, who's it say? In God we trust. The entire financial system of the world is based on faith. That this is worth what you say it is, and that this is going to buy me what I want from that person, and they're going to accept it. And then all these things that everybody's doing the right thing, but without that faith, we would have no financial system. So there's more involved in faith. You easily believe when somebody's telling you the sky's falling, don't we? Oh my gosh, it's all over. Do you know how bad it is? Somehow we listen to that, and we have faith in the negative thing. What is the difference? What is the difference in just having faith in who you are? What's the difference you being a beautiful child of God? Full of power, full of love, and full of light. What's the difference? It's none. It's just a choice. And that's where our power is. We have the power to choose our thoughts. And that's why we're co-creators of this earth with God, is because of our choice. Now here's the point. After all that, so you go to sleep. Yesterday is dead. It's done. Can't go back and rewrite anything. You mean that you should fix things if there's something you can do? Maybe it's something you can correct, right? If that's possible. But the action is done because it's dead. So you wake up, and every single day, it's like you're on stage. It's like you're presented to the world. Every day I come and create this new creation, because I am. You're a new creation. The old person is dead. They died yesterday. You are completely new, which means you can do any single thing you want. You can change anything you want. You can manifest the world that you really want, because you can start today with the power that's within you, that's already within you. Now, I'm going to go into some scripture now. Don't get me going, because I'm a preacher. So I'm going to say, let's keep it in the neutral. But there are so many scriptures that just say that. That say the kingdom of heaven is within you, right? Greater is he that is in me that is in the world. These things that we think are impossible to overcome are nothing to overcome because, like the unity says, because you believe them. That's why they beat you. Because you have so much faith in them. The boogeyman outside the door, the finances, whether it's red, whether it's blue, we believe it so much that we let it change our lives. That's not what God is. God is right here in the present inside of you. And greater is he that is in you than any other human being because it's the same God. So no one is lesser and greater than you. Stuff is stuff. Who cares? I work for millionaires that got houses full of stuff and all they do is sit on Amazon and drink all day. This stuff doesn't mean anything. This is all that means anything. Me connecting with you and you connecting with me, us connecting in this new creation that I created with my will, with my spirit. This new creation that I chose, I can create the world that I want, but I can't do it alone. I can't do any of this by myself, right? Like a candle in a big cave. You clap if you want. Okay, I'm okay with that. Just kidding. You're in a big cave, and you're one guy with a candle and the wind's blowing. Really, it's good you're lit, but it's nothing unless you share that light with other people. So I stand here and say, ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you Michael Monasterial, a new creation. Not burdened by the past, not afraid of the future, and here to perform my mission. My mission is to save the world. Your mission is to save the world. It really is, though, isn't it? But we have to do it together and believe we can do it. This church is going to be full. It's going to be packed. In fact, they'll need a bigger building for us. Because if every single person left here charged up and feeling that and spread it on to someone else and lit someone else's candle, the room will be full of light. And it's not even hard to do. It's just a choice. And why not? What does the world got anyway? CNN? MSNBC or Fox News? All these things that just manipulate you and say bad things that you should be afraid of. Not saying you shouldn't be informed, but the idea is don't let the outside world fool you to what the thing is. You wake up in joy, you wake up in power, you wake up in choice, and you wake up in a mission. Are you going to fulfill your mission? Yeah. Wake up tomorrow morning and be a new creation. And your mission is to save the world because the world needs our light. The world needs our power, needs our love. It needs to know it has a choice. And my daughter, she needs to know that you have a choice. Anyway, so the point is, if we accept that challenge and present ourselves as a new creation every single day and accept our mission, then the unity message can be spread the way it needs to, and we actually can change the world by changing ourselves. And that is the truth. And the truth shall make you free. And for this reason I was born. For this purpose did I come. Thank you all. Have a great day.